Yeah, I've been just thinking about this as I was blowing my hair dry. Um, yeah, I mean, of course, I've already talked about similar subjects, but never exactly about this. Yeah, I mean, that trend here also it has been a big trend since quite a while now. That men from the Western countries now are really who cannot really get a get married or get a woman here. They are having problems for whatever reasons, various reasons. They are going over to Asia to find women, and they do. Usually Thailand mostly, but also sometimes some other countries such as the Philippines and yeah. Anyway, you know, and this has become so common now that it has really made me wonder about it. I mean, it's because so many men seem to be doing it, and it has, as I said, gone on for a while now. Several, I mean, quite many years actually. And this is not a phenomenon of this decade or yeah, what or even the last decade. I mean, it began even before that. So, but it has never been so common and so present everywhere as now. And yeah, also there are also cases of people, men from the West European countries marrying Eastern European women as well. But still, there's a bigger how do you call that? There are simply more men who are married to Asian women, put it away, or Southeast or East Asian. Yeah, I mean, what conclusion can one draw then? I mean, it can't be always the guy that is, there's something wrong with, to put it that way, because I just think that these women in these countries who come, I mean, who are originally from these countries, Western European ones, I just feel that they have become too demanding. Probably, I mean, yeah, not probably, but yeah, they have definitely become too demanding. So yeah, of course, that's a very obvious reason if you know how to put two and two together. And another reason is also that they are not really keen on doing these certain chores at home that are or have been traditionally expected from wives or housewives anyway, such as cooking, for instance, or cleaning, or doing how do you call it? Going to the shop and yeah, and doing the grocery shopping. Yeah, so, and again, why is that? Why don't they want to do this? Why don't they like doing this? Because, well, there are a couple of reasons that I can see in my mind now. Of course, one of the reasons is the feminism. Feminism has become really strong in this century in general, but especially in the last 10 years, let's say 10, 12, 15, whatever. And yeah, that is a really important, I think, reason, and a big part of it. Yeah, I mean, it is now regarded almost as humiliating for a woman who is married to do like to be the one that does most of the house chores, right? Such as cooking and cleaning, vacuum cleaning, whatever, doing the dishes, or even, well, today most people have a dishwasher, dishwashing machine. So, but the other thing, like cooking, for especially, I think, why has that become? I mean, that has really become the, like, really something negative, simple as that in their minds. Like, oh, you expect me to cook? Oh, really? Like, it's like, as I know it, and I'm taking this from the examples or instances that I have seen personally. Many women today only cook when they feel like it. And when do they feel like it? Not that often, obviously. So, and especially not every day. So very often the husband, if he can cook, that's a good thing. He can do it all, make himself something to eat, and But if he can't, that's the problem. Then he can must live off takeaway and frozen pizzas and stuff like that. And that's like, they don't feel bad about it. These women today, they don't feel bad about it. The Western woman, that their husbands sometimes must have to eat frozen food or canned food or whatever. And so whenever you bring it up in a conversation, like if you bring it up and if you ask the why does the modern woman hate this doing this cooking? Just say cooking, doesn't matter. This, especially if you say about cleaning the house and stuff, they will they will rip your eyes, they will rip you apart in these subreddits or whatever, wherever. But let's say cooking, because cooking is first of all something very, yeah, it's a chore, but it's a really nice chore, isn't it? It should be considered because it is something that gives you nourishment, right? It gives you food so you can eat, and you can eat healthy, because home cooking, there's nothing that can replace home cooking when it comes to nutrition and eating healthy, especially if you know how to, yeah, cook, and if you don't just make like fried potatoes, fried meat, whatever. Yeah. So, but in today's society, it is. I mean, I've seen interviews, and this really enraged me when even men, like here in Norway, like I remember this interview with this guy who was like a comic book writer, and this guy asked him about his wife making dinner to one of his characters, and he was like, "Oh, but he should make the dinner himself because she is very, dominant and blah blah blah." And yeah, it just makes me pissed off. Such statements like, you're a big boy. Why don't you make your own dinner? Yeah, but what about you? Aren't you gonna eat? Like, don't pretend like it's only for me. That's what I would have said. Yeah, I can make it today, but not every day. It's not nice unless I am at home. Let's say, of course, that's another situation. If she works, I don't. Of course, what else? I'll gladly make the dinner. But if both work and she still expects you to do it always or almost always, you can see why most men, I mean, at least a part of these men, in the end, they don't want to accept that. So yeah, they either don't get married or they get divorced even, I don't know, because there's also So yeah, for these women that come this from these countries that I mentioned already, it is not just a chore to cook. It is a delight. Actually it is their, they consider it their duty, but it's not seen as a bad thing. They are actually proud of being a housewife and a mother, of course, and a wife. So they don't look at it as, oh, I gotta do this and this, every day. No, this is a completely different mentality. Of course, there are always, even there are exceptions in those countries, but mostly, I would say, yeah, this is completely different. I mean, the way these women look at it. So that's a really important part. Another thing is the lack of warmth and lack of intimacy in modern marriages with a Western husband and a Western wife. There isn't simply enough intimacy. There isn't enough warmth. Everything becomes like a business, so more or less. When you get married, it's like, yeah, who's gonna do this? Who's gonna do that? Who's when will we take vacation? Who will go where? And everything becomes about that. And so yeah, I mean, even having sex becomes like you have to put on make like this. How do you call it, a schedule? Yeah, you have to schedule it like, oh, I am free this day, like next week on Saturday, 4 o'clock, let's say, whatever, in the afternoon. Are you available then? Yes, no, right. So yeah, that is also another thing which is a big difference there. Women, I mean, from Asia are, from what I heard anyway, much more, just a lot more intimate. They like being intimate. They like being, yeah, just showing emotions. Showing their emotions. They have no problem showing emotions. That's another major thing, problem here. That certain women, even when they are married, they don't really like showing their love. They don't really do that a lot. And of course, I understand if you have been married for like 20 years. Yeah, I mean, it is common to not show your love so much, but I mean, in general, here I know it's very different when it comes to that. Women, wives don't really, yeah, they pretend like they are showing, like, for instance, if they buy you a present or something, that's like showing their love for you. It's not, for instance, I don't know, massaging you when your back hurts, or simply being very warm and affectionate and cuddly with you. Then I think they only do that when they kind of feel in the mood. But that's the problem. They are not in the mood for I mean, not often enough. Simple as that. So yeah. By the way, I heard that my sound is kind of low. I tried to fix it, by the way, but I don't see anywhere. It says it's fine. I don't get it. So anyway, let's return to my subject. Sometimes I can't stand to speak a little lower because when I talk about these subjects that aren't so easy to talk about, because I feel kind of tense. But yeah, that may be why, I don't know why the sound is not so high. And yeah, I think also another third reason. Sorry, I gotta collect my train of thoughts now. what was the third reason? Of course, I mean, but these are very important reasons, you know. I mean, I remember reading in a paper like a few years ago and that surprised me. Oh yeah, I remember the third reason, but let me just say for this first, it stood that Norwegian women, I mean ethnic Norwegian women, of course, don't really like having sex when they are married. So there you go. And the third reason, also very important one, is infidelity. There is a lot of infidelity here, and not just here. I believe in many other West European countries, and especially I think Northwest, like anyway from France and up. And that's another thing. And a friend of mine, remember, was telling me about his friend's wife from Thailand, and he knew her well, and he also knew a lot of these women. And he said to me, you know, one man is enough for them. They will never look for another guy. So that says it all. Yep, infidelity is really not that common. I think in those countries in general, it is really viewed as something dirty and disgraceful, and it should be pretty much. And it is. I mean, yeah, and those people are also kind of quite religious. I think, and in religious countries, of course, it's a sin and it is not accepted at all. And a woman who is caught cheating is pretty much a pariah, for the rest of her life, unless she moves, of course, to another country. But in these countries here, it is well, while it is not maybe viewed as something good or positive, it's still not as stigma. There isn't that as much stigma in a way. It definitely isn't. No, I mean, women who get caught cheating are, people talk about them, they gossip and stuff, but it's not like nobody will look at them on the street or whatever. They are not really pariahs, to put it that way. They are just, caught in a little unfortunate situation, and eventually people forget about it because there is a lot of that here. So, yeah. So there you have it. I think I put it all down. I think those reasons are why these men here really have very often marry women from either the East Asia or Eastern Europe. Even though, yeah, I don't know about, well, that's another topic for another discussion. East European women. All right, bye.